Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Let's talk about the first part of the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 8 reunion. Let's get right into this.
Big ass lie.
I have
is
not
what you
lied.
are. You're a big liar.
Okay,
we're not going to relive it.
So did he force you into a hotel room?
No.
Did he force you into a hotel room?
Oh my gosh, you guys, this reunion made my head hurt. It was nothing new. Like, same old, but let's talk about this. So the first thing I thought was that the looks were actually pretty good. I liked how they looked as a group. I thought the color was pretty nice. And the set was the photo shoot that they did of them as icons, which I actually like that. Because Nneka didn't have they did obviously put a picture of her, but it was from another picture. So Gizelle was the first one out, and she didn't seem to mind to have lost her first chair. So everyone else makes their way to take some pictures and stuff. Andy also says that this is the first time Gizelle and Karen are sitting together, which kind of shows you that they've been getting along really good this year. But Andy goes, introducing everyone once they're all sitting down. Mia says that she thinks she's going to be divorced before Ashley is, but Andy says that he wants to set an intention for today, that everyone will find forgiveness and be able to move forward. He says that he was frustrated watching this season because they were kind of incapable of finding common ground. Child, the translation of that is y'all suck this year and y'all better get y'all's ish together. Karen says that she believes in these women and she expects them to own up to everything. Everyone says that they will, except Gizelle and Robyn. They were a little hesitant. They were kind of forced to say they agreed. So Andy says that for some reason, the only time they are able to bond and be good as a group together is when they are talking about nasty, sexual, too much information stuff. So they take a look at those scenes, and then he starts asking them all these questions about swallowing and spitting. Yeah. Mia says that she's been swallowing with her, not DJ as Andy calls him, but her radio personality. Karen talks about her so-called wet dreams, and Robyn says, yeah, what I got from that is that you can't keep track of how many sexual partners you've had in the past 5 years. And Karen says, no, Robyn, that would be Juan. Damn, she walked right into that one. I mean, come on, Robyn. So, speaking of which, the first segment that they watch is Robyn Dixon and the Juan cheating aftermath. So, we take a look at the season package. Of course, Juan's indiscretions and Robyn's attitude towards that. So, the first question is, does Robyn still believe that Juan didn't cheat on her? We got the Canadian girl, Coach Bree. Robyn says that she can't say anything for certain, just as no one else can. But with these particular women, she doesn't think that he cheated on her. She believes him. So Andy asks, who doesn't believe him? None of them really do, but they say that it's up to Robyn. They didn't really make a big deal about it. They were like, we're just going to be here for Robyn. I think they were over it also. Robyn says that Juan was supportive of her this season, but Andy says, well, why is he not here? I mean, he didn't have a basketball game today. Shade. Robyn says, yeah, he declined to be here. But that doesn't mean that he's not supporting her, she says. Wendy says that the least that Juan could do is come and say, listen, baby, you don't have to take all this heat by yourself, for what I did. I'm going to be here with you. And I do agree with Wendy here. I mean, Juan is a terrible husband. And this is just me thinking, I believe that him not showing up to this reunion must have had a lot to do with her being let go. Candiace then says that she never had a problem or never cared if Juan cheated or not. She just didn't like that Robyn was demanding other people to be transparent when she wasn't. For example, last year in Mexico, what she was saying about Karen and the blue-eyed guy. But Robyn says that, well, first, Karen started it, and second, she keeps saying that because that wasn't something that was going on at the time, she didn't feel the need to talk about it. Karen talks about the way that she tried to get ahead of the time when race tax stuff was out there. She feels like Robyn should have done that. Okay, so then Andy reads a certain question being asked for Candiace, but the guy's name is bleeped. And Candiace says that she will not be answering any questions from this man because he is Robyn's friend and Robyn has been sharing information with him. Now, I think I have an idea on who this might be. Then Robyn denies giving this person information, but then Candiace pulls out a giant poster board Now, the giant poster board thing, I'm kind of over, but this was interesting. So, Candiace reveals a text that Robyn sent out to this blogger where she was mad at Gizelle for saying that Robyn had screamed at her. And Robyn told these bloggers that what she was going to do is release a video of Gizelle and Juan being together to prove that Gizelle wasn't really mad at him. But Gizelle, she says that she really doesn't care. But going back to Candiace and Robyn's relationship, Candiace still believes that Robyn was part of the plot to take down Chris to get the attention away from her, which it really bothers Robyn every time Candiace says it. And Andy then asks, what do you need to mend the relationship? And Candiace immediately starts to cry. And as she's doing that, Gizelle starts laughing like Maleficent. And she's like, ah ha ha, tears, here come the tears, fake tears. And Candiace just says, F you. But Candiace was really crying and saying all she needed from Robyn was some acknowledgement. And she says that it was also hurtful for Chris because he too considered Robyn a friend. Robyn says that what she wants is an apology, but if Candiace really thinks that she was capable of plotting on Chris, then maybe they shouldn't be friends. Mia kind of stepped in also to say, Robyn needs accountability and Candiace needs transparency, that's all. But they didn't really get there. Robyn's last words about Juan are that, it works for her and that's good for her. So, okay, again, I'm over it completely and it is what it is. I do not need to see Robyn anymore. I wish her the best. Goodbye. Moving on, the next segment they watch is Karen, who I am no longer a fan of after the DUI, but this was before that, so I'm going to try to be neutral. They take a look at Karen's season package, which included her triple 20, but also being in the middle of Gizelle and Candiace. So first thing, she says that she got a facelift and she feels really good and she looks really good too. They talk about her PAVE event, which was very touching. The women had an opportunity to share their experiences with assault. Then they touch on Gizelle claiming that she got death threats because of Candiace. So Candiace jumps in and says that it's not her fault what crazy people do. Gizelle says that a lot of the threats that she was getting were directly in line with some of the rhetoric that Candiace was saying. So for example, some would say, you are a colorist, therefore I'm going to come kill you and your kids and stuff like that. But Gizelle just says that all that has come out of Candiace's mouth this season is F Gizelle. Gizelle's an M. Gizelle's the devil. Gizelle is evil. Gizelle is raggedy. Gizelle should be fired. Candiace says all is true. Then she says Gizelle should not conflate their issues with the death threats. Then she tries to get another poster board, but Andy Cohen points out that Candiace has been liking extremely nasty messages about Gizelle from people in the comments. And then Candiace says, well, they got on a podcast to talk about my husband. Robyn and Gizelle say that the story was on the blogs, which is why they talked about it. And Candiace says, well, it was a fake story. It never happened. Robyn says, oh, so the screenshot of your husband's limp penis were photoshopped? Ooh. Child, then they start describing what the penis looked like. It was too much. Candiace says that the girl took that story back, but then they say that she came back and said she didn't take it. I don't know. That girl was crazy. This whole thing was crazy. Andy is still hoping to find some resolution with Gizelle and Candiace, but Gizelle says that, Candiace says that she's not interested and neither am I. Gizelle says, well, I just told you a laundry list of all the things that Candiace has said about me. Andy asks, well, can y'all hold each other accountable on maybe even just one thing? Gizelle says, yeah, last reunion I apologized for the sneaky link comment that I made. Andy says, but what about this year? Gizelle says, I haven't said anything this year. She's the one that's been saying these things. Then they discuss a Twitter post that Candiace posted after Karen's PAVE event where Candiace said that Gizelle had no right to talk about this situation, this thing that women go through when she herself falsely accused Chris. Gizelle says, no, I did not. No, I did not. So Andy asks Wendy, in a court of law, was Gizelle's telling of events of what happened, would that be considered sexual assault? Me and Gizelle say, Nneka is the lawyer. Wendy got a little butthurt. She was like, well, he's the host. He's asking the questions. But they do ask Nneka. Nneka says, no, it's not. And even Mia, she turns to Candiace and says, listen, Candiace, she was not accusing Chris of SA. Karen, then she tries to kind of wrap this up and say that, they don't want to diminish real survivors by talking about this. But Gizelle and Candiace keep going at it. And Nneka says, well, Gizelle, can you just clarify that he didn't SA you. Maybe that will make Candiace feel better. Gizelle says, I'm not apologizing for something that I didn't say. So Candiace calls her a big ass liar, and Gizelle says, oh, it's name calling time. Name calling time. Listen, Gizelle is being extremely petty this reunion. I think, though, also Wendy was trying to help Candiace, because she even says to Candiace, look, Candiace, if Gizelle, let's pretend that she just held herself accountable for something. Could you? And Candiace says, sure. And actually, Candiace does apologize to Gizelle for calling her white, first of all, last year. And she also says sorry for the threats that, she had. She doesn't feel good about that. And Ashley says, well, Rome was not built in a day. So it was what it was. Then Andy randomly tells Robyn to say 3 nice things about Karen. And she says, well, Karen is witty, she looks great, and she's a great mother. Then when he asks Karen to do the same, Karen says about Robyn, well, she's a good friend to Gizelle. She's intelligent. She is interestingly strategic in her woe is me cries, but she's a nice person. Robyn says, let me ask you something, Karen. If you thought what was your good friend went on Twitter and went on interviews and went on Watch What Happens Live to say that you plotted against her husband, do you think that's okay? Karen says, look, it's been done to me. She's kind of avoiding the question. Robyn says, you see, you are not in the fence. That's not true. You do not, you have a side. You clearly have a side. And Karen says, I am the fence. How many times am I going to tell you that? 1 minute you're pulling out a speaker, then you're crying on the curb. Oh my gosh, this was too much. So then they break for lunch. This was a weird thing. Mia is FaceTiming her new boo. Gordon walks in and she says, say hi to him, Gordon. And Gordon says, hey man, how you doing? As Mia is like saying to this guy, love you, boo, and stuff like. Now, where they do that at? That's crazy. So they come back from lunch, and the next segment they watch is Mia, which, if we're gonna be honest, that was the only interesting storyline that we saw this season, and it was at the final episode, so that blows my mind. But after watching that, Mia talks about her and Mr. Ink. They were high school sweethearts. They broke up, but she says there wasn't anything way too serious while she was with, married to G. Then Wendy says, well, Mia, I have to tell you that one of the things that Gordon told me is that one time Mr. Ink came to your house trying to take Jeremiah with him because he thinks that's his son. So Andy asks, is that true, Mia? And Mia says, yeah, he thinks that's his son. Lord have mercy. Oh my. What in the Maury is this? Wow, crazy. But anyway, you guys, that was the end of the reunion. Again, nothing too interesting. I feel like if I didn't watch this, I wouldn't have really missed anything. I think regardless of who your favorites are, we can all agree that this season has just been very lackluster and it's not giving what it's supposed to. Really hard for them to find conflict resolution, to move on. I think with this show, a lot of them have allowed social media to get infiltrated into their thought process and refusing to be held accountable. It's too much. But anyway, next season is part 2. I hope that it's only 2 parts because, can there really even be a third part? I don't know. But anyway, guys, that was it. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And I just want to say happy Easter to everyone who believes, he died so we could live, but he has risen. And, happy Easter. But I'll catch y'all next time, y'all. Y'all let me know. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and you'll have a great one. Bye.